welcome back to another episode of the Pop and Purpose podcast. Today I have a merchandising minor guest here to talk to you, and she has a major in behavioral economics. So I'm really excited for this month's episode, and I hope you do too. So without further ado, we have our guest, Sam.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. This is set up. Now I can breathe a little.
Good. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Okay, we'll get warmed up, have fun, and we'll do a little intro warm-up type of thing.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, probably coffee. I need a lot of caffeine to survive.
So do I. I go back and forth though, I like both.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you need a plan, or are you go with the flow?
Oh, I wish I could go with the flow.
You need a plan?
Genuinely, I need a plan. Everything's organized.
Oh, you come off as very go with the flow.
Good, I'm glad. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I need a plan too.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I'm super easygoing, go with the flow, unless but everything has to go in order.
I know.
At the same time.
I agree.
Sweet or savory?
Ooh, savory probably.
I'm both. I'm really split.
Probably both, but if I had to choose, I'd choose savory.
What's your favorite savory?
Like dessert? Or like anything?
Anything savory. Wouldn't dessert be sweet?
But dessert could be savory? No?
No.
Is like dark chocolate like savory?
I think that's like bittersweet.
Oh, okay, well I was gonna say like dark chocolate.
Okay, that's my favorite. I love dark chocolate.
Do you eat true fruit?
Yes, but not as much as
You need to. I'm addicted.
Oh,
It's
okay.
The dark chocolate with raspberries.
I was about to say what fruit.
Raspberry, for sure.
Okay.
Dark chocolate with raspberry.
They have it at Target, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But they sell them out of the CVS because I buy them every week.
Oh, CVS is so much easier.
Yeah, but they're always out because of me. I can't be trusted. Also, they have the dried fruit options, which is really good too.
Oh, I would want the chocolate covered ones though.
No, it's chocolate covered but dried.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Morning or nighttime?
Probably. Oh, that's so hard. Like night, probably.
Yeah.
I can't help but stay up late.
Yeah, me too. But I love the morning, so I just don't sleep.
I was gonna say I work better in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm much more productive, but at night I just. It's like witching hour.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's dark, it's quiet.
I know,
it's just
I'm
the
by
day is
myself.
over.
Yeah.
I agree. Big or small gathering?
Small, for sure.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone says that, but last week Addison said she likes a big gathering and then finding the small moments within that big gathering.
That's a good way
Isn't
to
that
put it.
such a good answer?
But I'm much more small. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I probably was like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Now I need 2 people and that's it.
Yeah, same. Pretty much. Yeah, even in a big gathering, I'm with the same 2 people.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll only talk to 2 people.
Yes. Okay, exactly. Your go-to workday outfit. You wake up and you're maybe it's late, you missed your alarm and you need to throw something on for work, but still.
I would do dark denim jeans for sure. I'm really liking belts recently.
Everyone's loving belts
And
recently.
a power boot.
Yeah.
I
love
my
that.
Boots. That's all I wore when we were in Paris.
Yeah,
my
that's
boots.
so. You wear flats though too.
Yeah, then they ripped my ankles up.
No.
Yeah.
No, my shoes also ripped.
Everybody had that.
Sam turned around. Wait, I know Sam because we just did the study abroad in Paris spring break trip. So if you're a merchandising minor, you can also have those opportunities too.
And it counts to your minor too.
Well, I feel actually that was open to the whole school, but
priority given.
It pertained to your degree, which is important. Okay, now we'll get into the bulk of what is actually the topic of today's podcast. What made you choose a major in behavioral economics to begin with, and then what drew you to adding a merchandising minor?
Yeah. Okay, I had a really unconventional college experience. I transferred here. So when I was applying to colleges, I was only applying as an econ major just because every college has econ. So I was only applying to business schools. And I just liked econ right off the bat. I knew that I could do basically anything with it because it's such a broad topic.
Yeah.
I liked the macro and the political implications of it, so I was just going with that. And then when I got to Drexel, that was like, I think, I don't want to claim that I was the first year of behavioral economics, but I was one of the first. They had just like released this new major, so econ can either be math focused or it can be people focused, and I always knew that I was on the people side. Like, I really like psychology. I was debating being a psychology major or sociology. I just think like the study of people and the study of like group mindset is super interesting. So behavioral economics, where I get to study like psychology and marketing, made so much more sense to me. And also like every econ you kind of have to choose like a concentration just because it's so broad. So having behavioral economics, like I signed up as soon as I got to Drexel basically to be a part of that. But it wasn't, I didn't know going into Drexel like that I could apply for it.
Yeah. So where did you transfer from and what year?
So I graduated 2020.
Yes.
Or high school 2020. So I was gonna go to like Pace University actually and do economics with a minor in, I think they have a fashion marketing minor, so I was gonna plan on doing that. But the COVID shut everything down, so I went to community college my freshman year. Also, I'm lucky because econ, I mean, every freshman year looks the same.
Yeah.
For econ majors at least, so I knew I could go pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
So I just went to a community college in my hometown, and then transferred to Drexel fall of 2021. So I've been here for 4 years.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I graduated high school 2021.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm also a 5-year, which I should probably say. So I get 3 co-ops.
That makes sense. We'll get into co-op.
Yeah.
We always do.
Oh, and then the minor?
Oh yeah, wait, how did you find...
Well, I like knew about the D&M program, and I liked it, and that was one of the things that I really liked about Drexel, but I still wanted to do econ, so I got here, I remember, like, first week I emailed whoever was in charge of the D&M thing, and I was like, can I do a double major? And they were like, no, like, not even kind of. They were like, there's no overlap, like, there's not really anything that you can do, and you'll be on, like, completely different co-op schedules than anyone. So I tried, and then I just kind of forgot about it, and then I went on 1 year, or did a co-op round, and came back and added the minor. So I added it my pre-junior year after co-op. But I didn't start taking classes until that winter.
How many credits are in the merchandising minor?
Like 16 or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not. It's really not that bad.
No, that's not easy, but not like too demanding.
I took like 1 term of like mainly D&M majors. I'm also like kind of ahead on my econ, so I like don't like I figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone will have a different path, but eventually I feel like it falls into place.
I totally should have added it earlier though, because I like went to co-op, and I came back and I took like retail operations, and I was like, oh, this would have been helpful. Like, I didn't know what a SKU was. I got in there and I was like, what's a SKU? So I was like,
wait, where was your first co-op?
I worked at Marquesa for sales.
Oh, that's right.
So like I needed to know what a SKU was.
Yeah.
And I did it. So I like really had no idea going in. I didn't even know what a sell-through was. I didn't know anything.
Oh wow.
So it would have been really helpful to add the minor before. But I think if I had been to Drexel when I started, I would have added it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited because I think your whole experience is super interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Now, was that always your plan, or I guess you kind of answered this, and did it evolve once you were already here? So you were kind of interested in D&M to begin with, and then you were like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just like forgot. I don't know. I like that whole first year was so crazy because I like didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So I like didn't really think to add it. I knew in my head I wanted to do fashion, but I was applying, like when I got here and I was applying to co-ops, I applied to some econ ones, and I was like, I'll just let figure it out, and I just ended up being like, okay, I actually have no interest in doing research or anything like that, so going the D&M route, like professionally, made more sense for me. Yeah. And then when I got back, I was like, okay, I need to add the minor.
Yeah, that's amazing. How do the two studies complement each other and or like your career goals? Like, what is essentially the overlap?
I think that there actually is a lot of overlap. I mean, econ as a, like, I think last term was really showing because I took a public econ class and we were talking primarily about taxes and tariffs. Oh, yeah. Obviously, like, that's a major topic in fashion right now. And I felt like I had such a good insight because at my last experience, we had spoken so much about tariffs and how they affected the fabrication and everything and where they got linen versus where they got cotton and all these things. And I would bring them back to like my D&M classes, and we'd be talking about tariffs in the same sense, just like on a completely different side of like the industry.
Yeah.
So getting into like the econ, which is like the background, the nitty gritty, like the math of tariffs and how they end up being on like consumer facing and how consumers pay for them, and then on the D&M side of seeing how like actually calculating, what we do, like calculating the tariffs and how much it's going to cost and how much to import, things like that. Like I felt like I was getting political background and like math background from the econ side, and then getting like application real world industry from the merchandising side, and I feel like that sums up like my whole experience of like I learned the econ, and everything I learned in those classes are like helpful for me, but they're not like as hands-on as I feel like the D&M ones are, where you're getting like a real look into the industry. So I feel like they overlap a lot, and it's just like helpful to get like a little bit of the math side and a little bit of like the how this affects other countries, how this affects other industries. It's just like helpful to know.
Yeah.
So,
What about like from a marketing perspective, like psychology and stuff? Because I feel like in FIM there is like a lot of psychology, marketing, that kind of. So is there an overlap there?
Yeah, one of my favorite classes I took was like, it was just named behavioral economics, and it like taught all of these different ways that people like view ownership and how they like. So for example, like selling your own clothes, you're always gonna like value it higher because you have owned it, and like you feel like it's yours, and you value it as higher. So when people go and like resell like shoes or anything like that, they normally overprice it towards what its actual value is. So we learned about that in econ, and then we also learned just like from a marketing perspective, if you're like the example we used was an Apple subscription. So there's obviously like different tiers and different payments. And the way that you place them, if you place like the cheapest one in the middle, like compared to the other two on the side, even if this one has like a little fine print that says like, oh, it's actually not going to be cheaper, most people will select that one because it feels like it's being projected to them, and they're like, oh, well, I'm not doing this one that's super cheap, and I'm not getting these like bonuses, but I'm not paying this much either. So it's like the way that you place things in like advertisements has a really big impact on the consumer, which I feel like is very applicable to like things that we learn in styling or just like any kind of D&M.
Yeah, even just like a fashion like subscription, like renting or whatever it may be. Yeah, it's so interesting. I love consumer behavior and like marketing and all that stuff.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, same. I could like read about it all day. So they do correlate, but how much do they differ? Like, what classes have you taken in both areas, but maybe don't correlate as much?
So I will say like the math needed for econ is intense. Like I had to take both calcs, and just microeconomics is super math heavy and super calc heavy, where I feel like on the inverse side, so that was like very challenging for me. I'm not math at all, but I had to like struggle through those classes. But on the other side, like I didn't have to take any of those design classes that you guys had to take.
True.
Which I'm kind of glad for, because they're like kind of strenuous in other ways.
They are.
Obviously.
They so
but
are.
I like didn't have to take those.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of happy about.
Yeah, we had to take microeconomics, and that was not my favorite.
Yeah. No, it's really hard. And then so we take micro principles of micro, and then we take intermediate micro, which is horrible. I did not.
I think I took principles, and I failed and passed with a curve.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
No, that was my worst term.
Yeah.
I actually remember sitting on the steps out front of like the Summit apartment building, and I was crying because I got an F in principles of microeconomics. And then literally as I was sitting there on the phone, hysterical crying, I got an email that said like you passed with a curve. So then I had a D.
Good.
And then I was like, I literally like looked up and was like, oh my god, I passed. And some random kid that walked by was like, I knew you could do it. And I had no idea who he was.
That's such a cute little Drexel moment.
But I remember, I know.
Well,
but I remember failing.
Yeah. Michaela just texted me from her ICA. She's a sophomore, and she was like, can you tutor me in micro? And I was like, I can help. Like, I don't want to promise anything. It's like, I struggled through those classes too.
My god, I left that midterm or final, I can't remember, just crying in the bathroom.
Did you guys have to take accounting?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to take accounting too, and I hated it.
I liked accounting.
Really?
I took it in high school though, for like 2 or 3 years. So
I
like
took it at my community college, and it was actually so difficult.
No, I for some reason economics doesn't work with my brain. I have no idea what's going on. But then I go to accounting and I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's good. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't relate at all.
I have no
I'm
idea
like
why.
the inverse.
I think it was because I took it in high school though. So
Yeah,
then we
that's
took
good.
like intro here, and it
Mhm.
was kind of similar to like the accounting 3 that I took in high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't like foreign, I guess
Yeah.
maybe.
No, I really did not like it.
It was like slightly like a review. I am not great with numbers, but I do like them. Like I can like figure it out.
I like them when I know how to do it. But
Yes.
with calc and when you start bringing letters and exclamation points and stuff, I can't.
No, I kind of like that when there's a formula and it's like kind of set out and like I start to pick it up. Like I could do it for fun.
You should tweet them.
No,
You'll
I'm good.
love
I
it.
graduate in like 50 days.
Sure you don't
It's
wanna go back?
50 days. No, I'm
Oh my God.
totally positive. What was the workload like with having a minor? So even though it was only 16
Yeah.
credits, did it still like?
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely had some pretty heavy terms. I always say that the work for D&M is like, it's not necessarily that harder. I would say for me, econ is harder. It's just more work.
Yeah.
Like, because we have to do so many slides and like visuals and that stuff. Econ doesn't really care about that. I'm making a presentation for econ right now, and it's white bullet points. Like, Maureen would lose her mind. Like, they would hate it. But like nobody cares. So
No,
it's
like,
like
here
it's
it
a
has to be,
different
like, pink,
yeah,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can't do screenshots for
No.
edited. So it's like a completely different workload. So I'd say like I don't think I ever got like overwhelmed, but it is like econ is not easy at all.
No,
like, so
I don't think it is.
most of the time that I got stressed out or like felt like I couldn't do anything, it was when I had like a bunch of econ classes and I wasn't like sure about that.
Yeah.
But I think
that makes sense.
I think it's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also lucky that I got like terms to spread it out, and
Yeah.
like, I've been here for 4 years. So.
Yeah. So wait, we have to graduate. I think everyone in the university has. It's like 181 credits minimum.
Yeah.
So do you graduate with 100 and
Is that really what it is?
181?
I don't know what mine is. Cause I came in with a lot of transfer credits too.
I think in total it adds up to 181. At least for
Okay. Well, that's
D&M
good.
or FIM, whatnot.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it's everyone has like, that's the number. I guess maybe like a 5-year engineering
Yeah.
might have more than that, but
I have no idea. And now I'm thinking that the minor is more than 16. Cut that.
yeah,
It's 20. Doesn't matter.
yeah. I just want to know how,
Like
like,
we have to take we have to take buying, or we have to take 231 and 232 like required, and then we get 6 electives that we get to choose from. You have to take 6.
those electives are broad.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
She said I can count the ICA as an elective.
Yeah. That, for me, that
This
counts
is
as
an elective.
What are we gonna merge analytics?
What else? I don't know.
Trying to think of what else there is.
But so I think that's like 20 credits more, so
Yeah.
than 16.
So what do you would graduate with 201 credits?
Whoa. I mean, we can look. I just feel like I'm not at 180 yet. But I'm gonna graduate.
Yeah. I'm at like one
Sorry.
no, you're fine. 160 something? One something.
Actually, I am. I think I'm at 170.
You literally have
I'm
to.
gonna
I think
have
you
to
just
be.
don't realize. I know for a fact. Let's see. Oh, stuck together. Where and what was your co-op? So your first one was at Marquesa, which you can explain that one, and then what were your other two following?
So Marquesa was in New York. It was a sales assistant, and it was unpaid, and then I got there and like I moved to New York for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, working as much as you want, like I don't care.
Yeah.
And so they ended up hiring me full time as like her official assistant,
Oh, that's
which was
awesome.
really nice because she like needed an assistant at the time and they couldn't find anyone. And I loved her so much. I had so much fun at Marquesa. Like I got to see all of like, the market shows, and I got to like lead the interns, and I would like hire the interns, and
Oh,
I did a lot of
you were-
coffee runs, but I was so passionate about it. I literally loved it so much because I was just so excited to be there. And
Yeah.
as I said, I knew nothing, so I'm like so happy they took a chance on me. But she said that she like really liked that I had an econ major
Yeah.
because she was like, we handle like so many like numbers that
It's not foreign to you.
yeah.
Mhm.
She was like, and she was the boss. My boss was like a business administration major when she was in college. So she was like, I liked that you already like that you had a business background.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Isn't Marquesa luxury
Yeah,
dresses
so
or
it's
something?
like ball gowns. And
Yes,
stuff, which was
yes.
super exciting.
Yes. Oh my god, they're so pretty.
And then I did, so that was my first, and then for my second, I worked at Newly for their planning department, which was really exciting. But again, I wish I had like I would
More.
yeah. So I would like go on co-op, come back, take a merchandising class, and then learn what I learned in co-op. And I was like, okay, so that would have been great to know.
Yeah.
So many of the metrics that we looked at, like weighted in stock and that kind of thing, I've learned in my classes since then.
Mhm.
But that was probably, I think, planning is like where I felt like I should be going, just because I do have such an analytical background. But I like came out of that wanting more product facing roles.
Mhm.
Like you just like kind of got siloed, and they had very different, like planning was over here, you didn't look at any clothes, you didn't like do any kind of assortment or like styling or anything, and then the buying was like all of that. So we would do
Yeah.
everything from the buyers to breaking down the size assortments and things like that. And since then I've learned that that was kind of a unique experience where like planning and buying are so separate. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of companies that have much more like similar buying roles, or like
Mhm.
the buyers are kind of the planners, and the planners and the buyers like work together. These were like very much buyers do numbers, or planners do numbers, buyers do clothes, like very separate. So I like wanted something that where I could combine both. That just
Yeah.
felt more like something that I wanted. So then going into my third, I knew I wanted buying, and I knew that I wanted like somewhat analytical.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing 2 internships. My first was at South Moon Under. I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm not. No.
They're like they're very like coastal. They're pretty much on the East Coast and in the South, I would say.
Mhm.
I grew up with them because they're actually like started in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know where that
And
is.
I'm like, that's where I grew up going to the beach. So I
Yeah.
had always known of them of like a surf shop, but they have like completely rebranded, and they're really they've got really cute clothes now.
Ooh.
So I worked in the denim department for their buying, and that was so much fun. And their buying was very much like both. So they had like 2 planners. It's a very small company. They had 2 planners in the whole thing. So if you needed like a sizing chart, or if you needed like anything like that, you did it yourself.
Yeah.
Which was like made a lot more sense to me, because I was like, one, I'm picking an assortment and I'm doing but I'm also like doing the pricing for it, which is
Yeah.
kind of where I wanted to be. So I really liked that.
Where are they based?
They're based in Annapolis, Maryland. So I lived
Okay.
at home. I'm from Maryland, so I lived at home and like commuted there.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it was such a good experience. I was there for like 9 weeks. And
Oh, nice.
then I had an internship at Calvin Klein in their merchandising department.
Nice.
And that's kind of where I was like, okay, this is perfect. Like merchandising for me, I think is like exactly where I want to be, because it is buying and planning in the same bucket,
Yeah.
I would say. And it's very much more like you get to see the entirety of the like cycle. So like working with design to working with supply to like actually being there for the fittings and things like that.
Yeah.
Was just like, to me it was like, this is exactly what
Almost
I want.
came full circle.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have to do planning, I have to look at the numbers, and I have to like set up the assortment pricing, but I also can like be like, oh, this shirt looks nice next
Yeah.
to this one,
Mhm.
and like that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
So I love that one, and I think that was kind of like, okay, I want to do merchandising, which is why that's what I'm applying to.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, like you were saying, like you would go on co-op, come back, take a class, and then learn
Yeah.
what you just experienced. I can't. Obviously, that's backwards, but I feel like that's still like a.
It was still really helpful.
Yeah, like it, cause you learn. Like I will learn something, and then I'll. It's just almost like all the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
it just takes like actual
It's just like
experience.
different ways to learn.
Yes. Yeah, but it's all one and the same.
Yeah.
It's interesting though.
That was my co-op experience.
That's a great co-op experience.
Yeah, I got really.
It's so nice you have
really
3, because we like as a major in Fem D&M, you only get 1.
Yeah.
So it's like 1, and you have like this one shot to like.
I know. I like that. That stresses me out for
Yeah, it's
like,
so stressful.
I don't think, I mean, the main reason I came to Drexel was to do 5-year co-ops, so like I always was gonna do it like this, but that stresses me out.
No.
I like couldn't imagine, and you're also all competing with like people in your classes. Like
Yeah,
I was
we
lucky
all go
when
on
I
at
was,
the same time.
I
Yeah.
just can't imagine. I was also like lucky that when I was applying, I wasn't in as many D&M classes, so like I didn't know who I was up against.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. It's made me feel better, I guess.
Yeah, like you were just blind.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like sophomore year when you don't have all of like
yeah.
then you still have 2 years after your co-op, and you're like even I was coming back taking classes and being like, oh well, this would have been great to know while I was on co-op.
Wait, so when you did it sophomore year?
Yeah, I believe so. Sophomore.
Did you do it fall or winter?
Or was it June? I guess it started to like be brought up, and I was like applying when I was a sophomore, and then I did it when I was junior, fall, winter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then came back, and it was like.
Where did you go?
I was at a production company in like north center of Philly, pretty much.
Cool.
I was a production coordinator and studio assistant.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was a hodgepodge of things though. It was like more. It was just like coffee run. Like it was just a bunch of it. Like whatever they needed, they were like, you got it. Yeah. And it was like so it wasn't.
I actually really like those kinds of roles.
So do I.
Like that's why I think Marquesa was my favorite, because I really didn't have a role other than what she needed me to do that day.
Yeah.
And sometimes that was like sit at your desk for 8 hours, and then sometimes it was like go to get a dress or.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, like I ended up doing a ton of like the banking reconciliation statements.
Oh, that's
like which isn't like.
Yeah, but it's like super probably useful to know.
It kind of was. Yeah, like now I'm like proficient in Excel.
Yeah.
Like compared to like just like coordinating events and like other stuff, I was like, oh, I actually ended up doing a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah. Was there anything that you learned through D&M that you're like surprised by, or like wasn't maybe expecting to piece together or figure it out?
I just think I like knew that I wanted to go into fashion when I was younger, and like I think we all like had dreams of like being a fashionista. But like actually I think I'm surprised at how much like I'm genuinely liking these classes, and like I feel like when I'm in my merchandising classes I'm like, this is exactly the analytical stuff that I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And I like how it's so relevant to my econ classes, but also just like the political world. I feel like I don't know why I would think this, but I sometimes see the fashion industry as like a standalone thing, and it's like very scary, and it's like all the way over there, and they're their own little party. But like really, realistically, it touches all parts of like everyone's life, and like you can't ignore what's going on. And I think learning how much you can do and how much it applies to like the entirety of like the marketplace and like the economy in general. Like I'm really liking that. Yeah. I so love when I'm in econ class and then they like call out the retail industry, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Actually, I heard about that last week.
No, I think you're too. That's funny. I actually wouldn't like when I was in like principles of micro, whatever it is, economics, and they would do something retail related. I would be like, okay, now you're speaking my language. Exactly. Like you have to put it into those terms for me to actually understand.
Yeah.
When it's not, then I'm just like completely lost.
No, I totally get that.
What are your, I guess you kind of touched on this, but what are your career goals or aspirations now, especially since you're about to graduate?
Yeah, so I have a buying internship at Free People this summer, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
After that,
you don't have to know. There isn't.
I think like in econ, a lot of people are interested in like higher education, which is something that I've definitely thought about. Even fashion, obviously you can go into higher education, but like getting a grad program, getting a master's. I don't really have a plan. I'd love to do merchandising, as I said, or buying. I liked buying too. I also think that the more like companies that I see that have different buying patterns or different buying functions, like the helpful it will be, just because I think there are so many different ways that people can do buying. Yeah. That are similar to merchandising. After that,
every place has their own system.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Even I feel like I was at Newly, I'll be at Free People. Like they're gonna be completely different. Just completely different beasts. But I also like, I'm just happy that I can like have an econ to light back on if for whatever reason I like want to leave the fashion industry.
You never know.
Do something else or like go to law school or something like that. Having an econ Not that
Great.
I'm gonna do that anytime soon, but
Yeah.
I could if I wanted to.
You can get your master's in retail here.
Yeah.
There's I think it's just like a 1-year program.
There's like a I just found out that you can get a PhD in consumer behavior from like Indiana State or one of those. I was talking to one of my old bosses and she said that she knew a girl who got a PhD and I was like, okay, doctor.
I can do that.
Cool.
Gosh, that PhD thesis.
Okay, I mean obviously
That would be
not,
so
but
hard.
It's good to know that it's out there.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I wanted to be called doctor.
Yeah, because my actual thesis right now is about consumer behavior.
Yeah.
And like Gen Z.
That would be good.
Yeah.
You have to do that for 4 years.
Oh, that's how long that is.
I think so.
I'm thinking it's just like a little year.
No, I think PhDs are 4 years.
Oh, yeah. I would rather just get my master's in retail.
Yeah.
Do it for a year.
That's totally fair. Is that what you're gonna do?
Not right away, but it lingers in the back of my mind. I want to work. Like, I'm so ready to just like start working. And then once maybe it's like, and also I want like AI and stuff to evolve more. Like
yeah,
I want.
we're in a really crazy part.
Yeah, like I want everything to evolve, and then like when I'm like maybe not all the way understanding it, not that I'll be like old, but like I'd rather like get a refresh once everything's a little bit more settled.
Also, like working, you get more money to go back to school.
Exactly. And I don't know how it works.
I'm not gonna go back to school right now. No money.
I have no money. I have no money. No, but then I don't know if this is how it works in retail, but like maybe the employer would pay.
Oh yeah,
for
well
you
that's
to
what
go
I've
get.
heard a lot too.
Yeah.
So if you get a good place. Then.
Exactly. So I'm waiting for that.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's in the back of my head. Did your goals or like career aspirations change or evolve after declaring the minor in merchandising? Like, did you have this set idea with behavioral economics as your major, and then did it kind of shift once you got into merchandising?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got to school and I was still open to the fact of like I could go into econ and I could pursue like a research assistant role, like, but as I started going through the interview process for those kinds of positions, I was like, this is just not what fits for me.
Yeah.
So I think adding the minor definitely like solidified. I think adding the minor and then like continuing to get jobs and like feel like I had a place was like gratifying in the fact that I was like, okay, this is what I should be doing, like, and this makes more sense. And also like hearing from people in the industry being like, oh, you having an econ major is actually a really good thing, because I remember that first round, I was like, why would they take me when like there's D&M girls or like anything like that? Like I just felt like I was totally
an outlier.
Yeah, I totally felt like an outlier. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely shaped. I would have never like learned so much about the different roles or positions that I could be in. Like, I don't think I would have known what a merchandiser was if I hadn't taken this minor.
Yeah. No, that's a good answer. I feel like maybe not like leg up, because that's like the wrong word, but I feel like it's like an even playing field, because like economics I feel like does tie into the fashion industry to some extent. We just don't have that much like credits for it, but we those credits and those classes are still required, so it does obviously correlate.
For sure.
What would you tell someone who's interested in declaring the merchandising minor?
I would tell them to do it as soon as they can before you go on co-op. But I also think that I've like given people advice to join the minor, and I think they would and they've ended up just joining the major.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you have to like kind of understand the value and like why you want your major. Like if I was all in for merchandising, then I should have just been transferred to this major.
Yeah. But
like having and I definitely thought about it. I kept being like, well, why am I struggling through calculus right now? And I could just be like a D&M major, but like seeing the value in that and like understanding why I need the major. Like this is the bulk of my work too. Like you still have to really like it. If you hate your major, then don't just add a minor. Like it's not gonna fix the fact that you hate your major.
Yeah, you still have to go through the major.
Yeah, you still have to get the major, and that's the degree that you're getting.
Yeah.
So I would say like just definitely weigh the options. If you're interested in the D&M program, then I would say join it, even if it like means that you have to take like the design 101 classes. I would say like, I think that would be my advice, and add it as soon as possible. Yeah. I definitely screwed myself a little bit.
Yeah, you can be a freshman and then like add the minor, and then maybe sophomore year you transfer because you just end up liking
Yeah.
the program. I don't
But
know.
then you're already like have had some of the classes,
Yeah.
which is like helpful.
Yeah.
I also think that I didn't know this, but you can minor in behavioral economics. So
Oh.
I don't know if D&M girls want
You can flip flop it.
minor in behavioral economics, but I would totally recommend that.
I regret not declaring a minor.
Yeah.
It didn't like make sense. I was just like so overwhelmed.
Do you guys do concentrations? Like what do you, is that a thing?
Yeah, but it's kind of like up to us, I think, like with career pathway electives.
Oh, okay.
Like you kind of declare it yourself based on the classes that you take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know my roommate is an entrepreneurship major. He has a concentration in corporate entrepreneurship or something like that, and then she has a minor in sports business.
Yes.
So to me, I'm like, that's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I have a concentration, I guess I would say, in like buying and merchandising and then like production. Because I've taken a lot of like publication, like this kind of class is like production, but then I've done a lot of it where it's like branding, retail like those kind of things. So it's kind of split down the middle. But you also get like, I think we have like 36 career elective or something credits. Like so there's a big chunk of credits that come from career electives.
And that's like your concentration.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But it's not like declared or like stated really anywhere.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's kind of just like on your transcript.
Cool.
And then like if you go into like a job interview, I guess you could say like I've taken this class, done this project, like so you kind of build it yourself, I would say.
Cool.
And I hope that's the truth. I hope I'm not concentrated enough. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything that you wish you knew before or earlier in your academic experience, whether in behavioral economics or merchandising?
I mean, I think I've covered, I feel like adding it sooner, or I just think like, I didn't have any like confidence in my major as like something that would be applicable to like this industry, so I feel like just knowing that it does is like very gratifying, and like, I do feel like it's given me so much more to like take into an interview. Not that I wouldn't have had that.
It's okay.
If I was just a D&M major, but I just think that like it, what's the word? It like diversifies me on a thing, and I think having that like reassurance when I was younger probably would have made me feel a lot better. Yeah. And I also just think like the one like qualm that I have about this is like, and the way that I've done my career is like, I'm like in LeBeau for sure, and I have my friends in LeBeau, but like we have just completely different career aspirations, and like we've had completely different co-op experiences. So we take classes, we spend a lot of time together, and then I come here and I'm like, these are the people that are interested in the same things that I am. We're competing for the same jobs, but like I'm not really in this program. And I also think like the timing of when I joined, where I was like a third year taking classes with, I was taking classes with freshmen, and then I would like jump and take classes with the seniors, and actually this is my first class I think taking classes with the actual seniors, so I'm just like, I'm kind of all over the place. So I feel like that's the only thing that's like been a little tricky, is being like, I don't care about my that I don't care that they're working at Goldman Sachs. Like on this side, but like we'll do homework together, but on this side they're like, I feel like people are like, what's your major? What is that? Like I'm kind of like in the middle, I would say. Which is like, there's so many pros, obviously. But it's like a little like unsettling. I feel like anyone that's in FIM or DNM, I keep going back and forth, it's like anything outside of that, we're like, oh my god, like that's foreign. I know. Like, so it's not like intentional, but we are just like, oh my god, there's stuff outside of it. Like, it's hard. It's just such a tight bubble. Same with them. They're like, why are you wearing jeans to class? Like, why are you so dressed up? I'm like, oh, this isn't.
Oh my gosh, I would step into LeBeau with like a dress on, and like I would be like,
they're like, what's going on?
Why did I do this to myself? Like, I would stick out like a sore thumb.
I know. I remember the first year I came, I was like, gonna dress up for class. This is college, and everyone's like, why are you wearing jeans at 10 a.m.? I'm like, that's a fair point. You got me.
I feel like even still, like, being in the major, like, I just took marketing, like, it's not 101. It's, like, just intro to marketing, though. So I was with all freshmen, even though I was a senior. So it really just depends on how you lay out your coursework. Like, I wouldn't say that's just, like, a you experience. Sure.
It was funny, though, like, I took fashion, what was it? Introduction to the Fashion Industry. I took that after my second co-op. It's with with the freshmen.
That's like our first.
And Maureen kept being like, Sammy, do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
That was like on my schedule. That was like like I didn't even make that schedule. It was like mailed to me.
Yeah, no.
Like in the summer
I know.
before
It was
I
their
moved
first
in.
class at Drexel.
Yes.
And I was there like.
Yeah.
22.
I got a C in that class actually. Fun fact.
Oh really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Okay.
I was like so overwhelmed. I didn't know how to check my grades. I didn't know what was going on.
I don't think they should count that first semester. Because I did horrible.
Yeah.
I did really bad.
I didn't know. Like, I just forgot that grades still existed, like, post high school. So, I didn't check my grades until finals week of the first quarter.
I was just having so much fun.
Yeah, not like fun, like wild, like whatever, but I was just like, la-di-da, like, I'm in college now. No, I didn't check my grades. I had, like, B's and C's and was like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, not that that's terrible.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, I think I can do better than that.
That term was so bad. They gave me a schedule too, because when you transfer, they'll do like your first term for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had out for me, but he put me in like the intermediate microeconomics, which is, everyone will tell you it's one of the hardest classes you have to take. And I was fresh out of community college, like,
here I am.
Yay.
Oh my god.
Had to withdraw, like it was a whole thing. They should really not count that term, because I'll look at my transcript now and I'm like, what?
Yes.
I also was like joining a sorority. I just got here.
Oh, that's so much work.
Time.
Not like bad work, but that's just like overwhelming.
Not that
demanding.
It was, of course. And I was so excited to be here. I was like, I'm not going to class.
Wait, go into that. How do you balance
a
major, minor, and being in a sorority?
It's not that bad. I don't know. I've had a couple positions. Whatever. No, I've had a couple like positions, and I think I ran the Instagram last year, and that was probably the most stressful. But that was also really fun because I felt like it was. I got to like merchandise the Instagram page, and I felt like I was like selling this. You had to like sell the story.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's that overwhelming though, and I'm also like I'm at the point where they like don't care that much about me. They're like just get your stole, get out of here.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, that first semester for sure it was definitely harder, but I also think like I was just not mentally prepared to be in microeconomics or any of those classes. So.
No, my mind would be I could barely handle just like the one class.
Sorry, also.
Wait, your professor?
Yeah, he was so mean. He was sexist, and I wrote a really bad review for him.
Oh, interesting.
I would like go. I would go to office hours and I would ask questions. I would go with these like two guys from my class, and they would ask their questions. He would explain it to me. I would ask questions. He'd go, Samantha, you just don't get it.
I would cry.
I'd be like, you're right. First of all, I don't get it, but also like, I understood what those idiots were asking. You don't have to be rude to me.
No, I would start crying.
I know, and now I have him again.
I went to tutoring. Oh.
I know, but I'm showing him now I've grown and I'm different.
Yeah, you're smarter than everyone.
And I hope he knows I wrote that review.
Probably. Those course evaluations come out and I'm like, well, actually.
No. I like used to not do them, and now every time they come out I'm like,
I'm like,
here we go.
You have no idea what you just put me through.
You're gonna be hearing from me.
Yes. Sometimes, like, when it says, like, to put a comment, I'm like, Rob. Because I just want them to know that I didn't enjoy it.
Sounds Hermans. Yes. I hope you know.
Oh my gosh.
Or just sign it like, and I would have said this to her face.
Yeah, no. And then for the ones that I like, I'm like, you have no idea how much I appreciate your patience and your knowledge and expertise. Like, they're so, I can go one way or go the opposite.
I feel so hurt.
Wait, how did you get away with not doing them in the beginning? Aren't they?
No, I just like, for us, we don't have to. We'll just blow your email up. You don't have to do them.
Oh my gosh, I think they're mandatory.
Oh, really?
At least maybe they guilt trip me.
They send you so many emails, they probably look like, but I don't think that they are. Or at least not for us.
I guess actually it's more the professor. Sometimes the professor will say, like, you have to do this to get...
Sometimes they'll do their own survey, too, I feel like. I've had that before.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm like, okay, you're asking for too much.
Yeah. Oh. Sometimes they just, like, make you sit in the class and just do, like, whatever evaluation, and they take, like, 3 seconds if you just, like, don't really care that much. So I literally will sit in whatever class is mandating it, and I'll do the rest of them anyway.
I saw one thing that was, like, you can get something you could be entered to win if you complete your such and such. So I was like, okay,
Love a
I'll do it.
good enter to win.
Yeah, I'm never not gonna do that.
Yeah. I just actually signed up for Wawa Rewards. It's so random.
That's exciting.
I know, right? I was like, I just always put it
It's
off.
actually really smart too.
Yeah, I know. The lady was like, "Oh, do you have a Wawa Rewards card?" And I was like, "No, it's fine." She scanned it for me, and she was like, "There you go, now you do." And I was like, "Is that all it takes?"
Okay.
That was so easy. She was like, "Yeah, just get the app and put the number in." I was like,
Oh my
"Why have I not
God.
done that for the last 2 years?"
I need to do that for Kiwi, the frozen yogurt place up by the by Spread. Have you been over there?
Yes.
You should go. It's really good. But I go there. My boyfriend lives.
Okay,
like,
is it
around
right
the corner.
next to the bagel?
It's like
place?
Spread, Wawa, Kiwi.
Yes, I know exactly.
So good.
Yeah.
I go once a week, every time.
I've never been in there.
And they have one too, and I may need to get it.
Ooh. I have the it's not Brick and Brew.
Board and Brew?
Board and Brew.
Hmm.
I have their rewards thing. I have one stamp from freshman year and I never went back.
Awesome.
No real
That's
reason.
so
I just
exciting.
was like, okay, I have to stop spending money. Like, didn't know how the dining hall worked. I was just like buying food.
I hated the dining hall.
I love the dining hall.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I loved it though. I thought it was
Which one did
great.
you like, Urban or?
Urban.
I liked Hans for whatever reason. I was a Hans girl. Even though it was like a mile down. But they were better and their salads were better. And you could make
Yes.
noodles too.
Their salads were significantly
And
better.
they always had the pink lemonade, which is what I really appreciated.
That's true. Urban was just one right under Summit, which is where I lived,
True.
and two, all I would really eat is like the chicken and whatever vegetable was available, and then
Nice.
other than that, sometimes I would just be a little.
I just thought Urban was like social hour. Like too many people that I knew. I felt like Hans
It
was like
was.
the more low key.
Yeah, it's like underground and it's more spread out. It's a
Yeah.
little bit bigger.
Like people weren't coming over, but Hans, I just felt like I was like on open display.
Yeah, Urban. No, yeah. If I didn't get like this weird corner
Yeah, or,
seat
like,
that was behind like a wall, then I was actually kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then Hans was like too far of a walk, and I was lazy, so I just wouldn't go.
And they were closed on the weekends too.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Urban is a big social hour. I just walked by the other day and they had like balloons and like a 3D 60
No.
camera, and I was like, I was just like, I would
Would you
just
imagine
try
going
to,
there for breakfast now?
I would go there for breakfast. I would
I would
eat
do.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. though.
Really?
Yeah, their breakfast. Oh,
Oh, what
I
was
would
it?
pay for their breakfast.
What was it?
Everything and anything you could imagine.
Oh my God.
Toast, avocados, bagels,
Were they good though?
like 50-50.
Okay.
It would depend. Like their eggs were like a little suspicious, but like you would watch, like I would watch them make them, and I'd be like, it's not that sauce.
Do you remember the eggs in the hostel? Do you ever eat those in the morning in Paris?
Those were eggs.
Yeah.
I
think
thought
they
it
were
was
like 50% cheese, 50% eggs.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like it was.
Because
filled
I
with
like
dairy.
wanted the sustenance, but I was like, I'm not going over there.
No, I would just eat watermelon and
Yeah, and croissants.
espresso. No, I would
Such a
save my
fun time.
croissants for. I would go. I would try them.
Eat 2 croissants a day, at least. In the
They looked
morning,
like flat
right when
and
you
like.
get up. Oh, they
They
were.
looked like the mini Costco ones.
Yeah,
That's
they
why
were.
I was never.
And they were good.
Yes.
But I ate them every day.
No, I would just have
And their
watermelon.
chocolate was so good.
The chocolate. This part. My dad tried to order me chocolate. Were you there when I made everyone stop in a?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad tried to order like one of the like kits that came with like a few of them, but they didn't ship to the U.S. He tried to get it for me for Easter, and I was like, oh, that's all that
That's
counts. I know, cause I just finished the bar. I still have some. I have one
Nice.
square left.
Nice.
I'm probably gonna eat it in like a year.
You have to do it for a reward or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I really want more of those. Alright, I'm probably gonna cut that whole last thing.
Okay. That was a ramble.
Yeah. Okay, now we can end off on a little fun ending that's not school related.
Okay.
So, do you have any current favorite podcasts that you listen to on the daily?
God, this is such a good question.
Oh, good.
Do you listen to Giggly Squad?
Yes, love Giggly
Oh my
Squad.
God, I love Giggly Squad.
They just have their book, How to
I know.
Giggle.
I need to get it.
Yeah, same.
I love them. Who are you? Who would you say you are?
On page. All
Are
the
you?
way. 100%.
I feel like I'm Miss.
I'm not Hannah at
I
all.
could totally be a Hannah, but I'm not like
I feel like she's.
gross like she is.
That's. There's something about her. I don't know. She's just like so sporty, and I'm
I
just
know,
like I
I'm
used
not.
to be that. In high school, I was.
But I don't
Hannah.
paint my nails, so I'm like, oh, can I get it?
Yeah, no, mine aren't done either. But like, I'm so high maintenance, like
Yeah, that's fair.
bitchy page. To be
Yeah, no, that's
honest.
fair.
Yeah.
Also, Have you heard of Ride the Pod?
No.
Oh my god, they're so funny.
Oh my god.
I think you'd like them. They're really funny.
Ride the Pod?
It's called Ride. I think it's just called Ride, but they like say Ride the Pod.
Yeah.
It's like one of them is like just putting on a TV show, and one of them's like a stand-up comedian. They're so funny.
Yeah, I love when there's a comedian involved.
They're
It's so good. It's
and
so funny.
I've been listening to Amy Poehler's.
Yes.
Love
Just
her.
like I've listened to like one or two of hers.
I love hers.
Yeah.
She's so
funny.
good, and she's so funny. And she just had Catherine Hahn on, who I'm obsessed with.
I don't even know her.
You'll love it.
Oh.
You should listen to it.
Noted.
And she had Quinta Brunson on too, who was so funny.
I don't know him. Her.
She did Abbott Elementary. Do you know that one?
I know the show, but I've
she
never watched
wrote
it.
that show. So.
So she's a screenwriter.
But she also does acting. Like she's in the show too.
That makes sense. Awesome.
Those are my 3 right now. You
Cool.
should definitely listen to Red.
No, oh my god, now I'm excited.
I'm so glad you
I
asked
needed
me that
more.
question because I feel like nobody knows all the podcast is.
I'm just like so hooked on like the ones that I got.
What else
hooked.
do you listen to?
I've said this before, but I love Jake Shane.
Oh, I've never listened to his podcast.
What's it called? Therapist?
Yeah.
It's so...
He gets crazy guests on there.
Yes, but
He
he's
just
hilarious.
had Amelia
Perez?
No, she like interviews people. She was the chicken shop dude.
Oh my
I
gosh.
saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, I kind of know who you're talking about, but I also don't. I forget who
What? I think it'll be his new episode.
Probably. I think it came out last night at like 7, so now I can watch it today. But I'll probably watch it tomorrow when I'm home.
Do you watch them?
Yeah.
I just listen.
I mean, it goes back and forth. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll just throw it on and I'll listen, but I'll get to my guilty pleasure. But I love setting up my iPad and eating and listening to it. It's so, oh my god. And honestly, BFF's podcast with Brianna Chicken Fry and Josh Richards.
Really?
Just like what they talk about, I think is interesting. It's all just like popular culture and like hot takes. And I don't have TikTok, so they talk about what's happening on TikTok.
What happened with her and Grace?
I don't know. I don't really know the full story. I think I am too. But then also wasn't Brianna in the Zach Bryan relationship?
Yeah.
Isn't that what caused the divide?
I thought so, maybe.
So that makes me feel bad for Brianna because that's
I know.
like
She
a lot
had
to
my
go through.
sympathy for that.
Yeah. But Grace is... Oh, well, speaking of Grace, hers Disgraceful podcast is so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so funny.
I'm just on her side.
She's just hilarious.
Do you listen to Call Her Daddy ever?
Oh, yeah, that's like...
I used to more.
It changed a little bit, but it's still like on brand.
If she has someone cool, then I'll listen.
Yeah. Her guests are hit or miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's great. She's like the best interviewer ever.
She is good.
I think she's so good. Her follow-up questions and the way she carries a conversation is like what I listen to and then try to implement. Yeah, I think she's so good. I think she's
doing
awesome.
a very good job.
Oh, thank you so much. I try. I'm getting more comfortable.
Good.
In the beginning when I was like had Kimberly on, I was like, honestly, God, I wasn't really breathing. I was not breathing at all. Now I'm like breathing, which is great.
Good.
Yeah, it's great. And this is a question that I don't know why I ask because I don't watch TV, but what movies or TV shows have you been watching recently or binging? It should be don't
I just finished Avatar, The Last Airbender.
That's so interesting.
My boyfriend and I watched it together. I've been changed. Like, I'm never gonna be the same ever. It was such a good show. Like, if you want to binge something, you should totally binge that show. It's so beautifully done, and I've never. This was like I don't even know if you would classify it as anime, but I've never watched anime before. But like, it's so beautifully like it's all drawn. Like it's all drawn. Yeah. It's so beautifully drawn, and the story is so good.
Oh,
and they
like
have great female characters, which is normally a problem that I have.
Wait, like the actual cartoon, not like the movies with all the CGI
No,
stuff.
it's not like the blue people.
Okay.
It's the guy with the arrow on his head.
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
okay. I've actually watched pieces of that.
It's so good. So I just finished that, and I'm still like reeling. But I've been watching Love on the Spectrum.
Oh my gosh.
Which I don't know if that's politically correct or not. I feel like jury's not out if it's good or not, but it's a great show.
I feel like it's been out. I watched it a little bit. It just was like...
Yeah, I think it's a hit or miss for people. But
yeah.
I just love them.
Yeah, I do too, actually. The first, what's her name? I think it's like Abby.
I love Abby so much.
Yeah, like she like found someone and it was like so cute.
Oh, they're still together. They've been together for 2.5 years.
Yeah, like that's
and she
incredible.
keeps going, she goes, when are we gonna get married?
Yeah. I follow her on so funny.
I also watch like Parks and Rec. I love.
That's great.
And New Girl. Whenever
I've seen New Girl, but not like all the way through.
New Girl. Like,
Just
if
like
I need
episodes.
to watch anything, you know, when you watch something scary and then you need to watch something nice afterwards.
Yes.
I always watch New Girl.
I can't watch scary.
I mean,
I'm
not
not.
me either.
I can't at all.
It would be like a scary episode of Avatar. Like, oh my
No, yeah. I'm such a wimp.
I have
It's so
such
bad.
a low bar for that.
I watched 15 minutes of Normal People, and then I just got tired of sitting in front of the TV.
Oh,
To be honest.
Normal.
I know. I try.
I know, but
I
it
just
is like you
can't
have to be in
sit.
the right mindset because that's like you have to really put yourself through it for that show.
I can always put myself through something.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
always
that's
in the mood. I don't watch anything. I'm
Oh, really?
really, really terrible.
You
Trying-
should watch
trying-
New Girl. I actually do think you.
I do like New Girl. I haven't like watched it religiously, but I've seen like episodes with like just friends who have put it on, and
Mhm.
it's like it is funny. It's actually
It's like sitcom.
yeah, isn't it like the girl and she's just like lives
Yeah,
with
she
all
lives with
yes. It kind of gives How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that I've watched.
Nice.
I love that one. What are you listening to right now? Music, artist, song wise?
What am I listening to? I feel like I've been listening to so many podcasts that I haven't been listening to music that much. Well, now
Okay.
it's like summer, so I'm like getting into my like house music. That
Yeah.
I really like. Don't ask me to name anyone because I don't know. I just if I like
No,
a
me
song,
neither.
I'll put it on my playlist.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
And I've been
house
running
music.
a lot, so I'm making like really aggressive like rap
Oh.
songs that I run to because they like really push me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
which is unexpected. I would say.
I don't know what I've been. House music is actually a really good one.
Yeah.
Or I've been on like
It's
my
when it gets
indie-
warm outside. Yeah.
Yeah, like MGMT.
Mhm.
Who else?
The indie music is like I feel like it's like my baseline.
Yeah, same.
I've
Pretty
always
much.
really liked that.
And apparently Lorde has new music coming out.
I'm so excited. for
Yeah,
that.
I
I've been
love
on a
Lorde.
Maybe it's just because of that, but I've been on a Lorde resurgence. I'll listen to her old stuff. This stuff is so good.
Ribs by Lorde.
I can't do it.
So literally
There's certain
good song.
songs that like now that we're like leaving college and I'm like ending a period of my life, like I can't listen to like Stoned at the Nail Salon by Lorde. I like can't listen to that.
Does it like
song.
just bring you
It's
back?
like, oh, like remember the people that raised you and like
Yes.
you have to celebrate them, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't feel this right now.
No, literally, there was a song, Space Song by Beach House. I like rediscovered freshman year of college, and like it was on repeat.
What is it called?
Space Song.
Ooh, I want to listen to it.
Oh my god, you probably it was like a
I
trending
probably-
sound on like Instagram or TikTok, whatever it was. You would know it when you
Okay.
hear it. Beach House in general, actually.
I think I like Beach House. I feel
Yeah,
like I have a
they're
couple of theirs, so
they're like indie, like psychedelic rock almost kind of.
I like that.
But I just listened to that song again and literally like almost started crying and was like, oh my god, I'm so old. Like I was like, oh my god, I was just listening to this
I
when I was
know,
a freshman.
And I'm going to do you know who Lorde Hermans? They're very like indie kind of like.
Wait, yeah,
anti- They did like Ends of the Earth. That's
Yes.
the big one.
yeah.
My sisters and I are going to a concert this summer, and I was so into them when I graduated high school. So now I'm like,
Yeah. Just brings
it's
you
been
back.
5 years.
Yeah. It's so
I
sad.
need a cigarette. 5 years.
Damn.
Just kidding. I don't need a cigarette.
Yeah, I actually know exactly that band. They
I
kind
love
of
them though. They're
yes.
good. They did one other the night something with the night. That was one of their big songs.
Yes, there's
If I had
It's
my
gonna
phone, I
frustrate
could
me.
show you.
yeah. You can't though because it's recorded.
No.
All right, this is my favorite question because I don't have one and I'm trying to find it. What is your guilty pleasure?
Of anything?
Yeah, what's your guilty pleasure?
Oh my god. I don't know. My guilty pleasure? Oh, I don't know. This is kind of gross, but I like letting my nails grow out and then cutting them, and I feel like it makes me feel really good.
So
I don't know.
hygiene.
Yeah, like kind of gross, but
Not really.
I don't know. And then I can like see how long they get. And I'll be like, I should paint them, and then they don't. And like,
I bit all of mine off in class this morning.
oh.
I couldn't take it. I was just like, God, I don't want to be here. To be completely honest.
Last year was rough.
I have
don't know
classes.
why.
I have classes 1 day a week, and for some reason, it's harder to come once a week than it
I
is
get
like
that.
3 days a week. Because then I'm just like on a routine.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that
just,
makes
like,
sense though, because it's like the one day that you have to be like.
On.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just home
I know.
alone.
I really didn't do much in class today. I felt bad.
I didn't either. I was so confused on the platform they
Yeah.
were using. No, it like wasn't working.
No, it wasn't.
No.
That was a bad guilty pleasure, but my
I don't have one either, so this is a judgment-free zone.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then if you could leave our listeners, which is like incoming, aspiring film students or Drexel students in general, what's a message or mantra that you would give them?
Give them? I don't know. Like, just, I feel like finding your little niche of whatever you're interested in, whether it is in like fashion or in general, like finding what you're truly interested in is so difficult, and I feel like it's talked about so much in the college conversation of like, oh, we have to figure out what you need to do, and like that's such a ridiculous thing to ask 18-year-olds to do, but you're gonna figure it out, and that's why Drexel is such a good school, because it does have so many opportunities for you to figure it out. So even if you don't choose to do a minor or the major, like join the rad club or like join little things that you can see other parts that you're interested in. I was gonna join the rugby team when I first got here because I was interested in like being on a team. Found out not for me, shockingly. I like wanted to join the swim club team. I think like college, there's so much pressure to like get there and like know exactly what you're gonna do and like be exactly who you're gonna be. That is so unrealistic.
It's gonna change.
I was also gonna add a dance minor. I had a dance minor for 2 weeks, but I added a merch minor, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. So I dropped it, and that's fine. But I like, took a couple classes of dance because I love dance. But you can do whatever you want, and Drexel's such a good school where there's so many random things that you can try out. Yeah. Like, just try them out. No one's really gonna care. No one's like, wow, Sammy, you remember when you were a dance minor? Yeah. Because I don't. Well, now everyone knows, but
but still, like no one's gonna remember.
No, nobody cares.
No,
and I think that's like the best part. Is like everyone's so much more worried about themselves. So you should, if you have any interest at all, like you might as well try it. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Everyone's so worried about how they're being perceived and what they're doing that they're not focused on you.
Yeah,
or
like
what you're doing.
What's the thing?
Pickleball.
Light saving club. Like,
oh yeah. Dude, they have like silent discos with like the lightsabers.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah. Wow, I haven't seen them in a while.
Like no one's gonna judge you for being weird in 5 years. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
No one's gonna judge you if you're
so like join like a club. I joined a business frat for 30 seconds. Wasn't for me. Dropped.
Oh, I know the business frat, but
yeah,
I forget the name.
I can give you the tea on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Because I know no one or like nothing, so I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. I know. But I have no idea what you're talking about.
But it was fun, and it like made sense. But I was like, why do I need to be in a business frat? I'm just gonna work in fashion. So I dropped.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I met great people.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm running out of advice at the end of these things.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like my one thing.
My advice is just have fun. Have as much fun as possible. Because it's kind of not that fun sometimes. So
yeah, it's also like don't put too much pressure on yourself to like that you're gonna have like some people go into college being like this is the best 4 years of my life.
It might not be.
Probably not.
It wasn't the best 4 years of my life.
4 years of your life gonna be like stuck in a small dorm with like loads of homework. Like no, not for me at least.
Yeah.
Obviously, people are gonna have fun. I think some of my best years I've had in this college were like. Definitely not a 4.
No.
That'd be crazy.
That's very up and down.
As I said, I had almost failed out that first semester.
Actually,
that's the best year.
That's a really good piece of advice because I feel like specifically for Drexel and the way that everything's laid out is to just like go with the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because like you're gonna have highs, but you're also gonna have like extreme lows, and like that's okay, and not every year is gonna be like that going up.
No,
exactly. That roller coaster.
And every year is gonna be different because of the way that the co-op program works. Like that's why I think joining so many clubs and like joining a sorority has been so good for me because you'll meet a friend in class and then they'll be gone for 6 months. Like I met all these friends my first year and then I moved to a different state for 6 months. Like it's not like necessarily an environment that promotes like friendships. So like joining whatever you can where you get to like interact, then that's probably the most helpful you can. Not necessarily a sorority or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to maintain friendships with co-op.
Yeah.
People disappear and fall off the face of the earth, and then they come back, but then you're the one falling off the face of the earth, and then a year later you're like, where have you been?
Yeah, it's like I meet one person I like, they're gone.
They're gone. And then you're gone, and then it's just like this whole cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's cool though.
It's a great school.
Yeah.
I was always such a big Drexel fan. Like I've always wanted to go here. for me at least, which I think is so random.
I never really thought about it. And my uncle,
Yeah, that's what people
Went
on
here.
the trip were saying.
yeah, like my uncle went here, so he was like, oh, like it's a great school, and I was like, okay, I'll look into it, and saw they had fashion, and like just fell into it.
Yeah.
But I never really had like a dream school, I guess, in general.
Drexel is like my favorite.
Oh, well, good for you.
I
Now you're
know.
here.
I'm
About to
glad.
graduate. I can't believe that.
Oh my god.
It's literally
Play
insane.
Rips by Word.
Yeah, cue that
to
up.
play us.
maybe I'll end that song with this and it'll fade in. Well, thank you so much for sitting with me today. I actually really
I had a lot
appreciate
of
it.
fun. This
Okay.
was so much fun.
Good, I'm glad.
I'm glad that I could come and talk.
Yeah. Okay, that's a wrap. Great.
That was fun.
Nice, that was good timing too.
Hour
Yours-
6 minutes.
An hour and 6 minutes?
Yeah.